he's a great teacher with regard to conscience and liberty, which are really the fundamental questions we're dealing with here in our own nation at present. Sadly, with the secularization that has taken place, the freedom of conscience is being defined, diminished to freedom of worship. In other words, what you do inside the walls of the church, you're free to do, but the minute you step outside of the church, the government can compel you to do acts that are against your conscience in a very serious way, and against not only matters of Catholic faith, but matters of the moral law, that law which God has written in every human heart, that law which teaches us, for instance, the inviolable dignity of human life, which teaches us the integrity of marriage and the family. And St. John Paul II, that's basically what he did when he, in his many discourses, was to call once again for a respect for the moral law as that minimal but essential ingredient for charity. In other words, if you can't be treated justly, how can you expect to be loved? In other words, if we're not just with one another, how can we pretend that we love them? And this is the whole lie of a totalitarian state. They make the pretense of doing what's for your good, while at the same time taking away your human dignity, denying your conscience, and making you, as you use the term, a slave to the system. And there are many different teachings of St. John Paul II. I would say that one of the most brilliant ones would be Evangelium Vitae in this regard, but also his teaching on faith and reason, and to show that there is no conflict between our faith and what reason teaches us, but that faith illumines and brings out the richness of those things that reason itself teaches us. For example, the dignity of every human life from the first moment of its existence to natural death.
Is it true then that maybe you see that the essence of, or the reason for the law is for the love?
Exactly. Oh no, that's the whole point. As the Pope John Paul II, in that Apostolic Constitution promulgating the Code of Canon Law, he says love and the charisms and all those beautiful things, sacred worship, the teaching of the faith, that all has the primacy. But in order that all those beautiful things can take place, you need a good order in the life of the Church. And that makes it possible. That, how should I say, disposes everything to go well for sacred worship, for teaching, for all the other wonderful activities of the Church. So law is always at the service of the love of God and of our neighbor.